and I'm joined by my business partner, Tanya Watkins, and we are both master coaches for the Set Up for Success Online Business Consultants Program. And we are excited to be here today with one of our consultants, Jessica Smith. We have a great show planned for you today as we're going to share Jessica's success as being an SOBC. But before we get started, we want to share this in our interest group. And if you want to join so that you can learn more about the Set Up for Success program, you can do so with the link in the post. So while we, share this over, so give us a second, we wait for people to come on, and please let us know your name and where you're from. We would love to connect with you further in the comments. So while you're coming on, do that and give us a second to just share this out. Right, Jessica? We're excited for today's show. So again, we should be getting notified. Some women should be getting notified to join up here. And we're just going to share this over.
Yes.
And we will be getting started.
So excited.
Yeah. So again, if you are checking this out, do not be afraid to let us know. Say, hey, girl, hey. This is always the fun part. You have to do while you're live to share this over. But we want to make sure that as much people that possible, as many women as possible, can hear your wonderful story, Jessica. So we want to make sure that we get this out in our interest group. And I definitely want to put this on my profile, on my personal wall on Facebook, because again, I can't just wait to share your story. So I think we're ready to get started. I think we got a chance to get that shared out. So we're going to go and get started. So, hey, Jessica, how are you?
Hi, ladies. I'm doing well. Excited.
Awesome. So like we said, Jessica is one of our Set Up for Success online business consultants, and we wanted to interview her and let her share her experiences in the program. So we want to get started, So the first thing we want to ask you, Jessica, is kind of share with us, what made you decide that you wanted to start your own business?
I think I've always been interested in having something of my own. I never really enjoyed the 9-to-5 life. I mean, I did it. I did the college route, find a job. But it was something about like sitting at a desk all day, sometimes with no windows, it was just really I could feel the walls closing in on me. And I've worked for great people, don't get me wrong, but I enjoyed being outside. I mean, y'all see I'm outside right now, but I liked being able to just be free. I liked being
she froze up there a little bit.
She'll come back.
Okay, so it'll come back on here. So while we're waiting for Jessica, I wanted to make sure, Tanya, hey girl, hey, I know that I introduced you as my master coach and we had a flow for today's show, but while we wait for Jessica to come back on, I definitely wanted you to get a chance to say hey to our audience.
Awesome. This is so good. And actually she's right back on. So let's get
Yes, sorry, I was getting a call. But no, I really always wanted the freedom, but I also knew that I had something in me to help other women. I just didn't know what that was. So, I always kind of had my own thing on the side, blogging. I even dabbled in MLM, anything that could get me to freedom. I wanted
right.
So yeah,
I really,
that was my motivation.
No, I love that, Jessica. Especially like the two parts that I resonated most with your story is I'm like you, girl. I always tell people I am pink satin in a brown polyester world. Okay, that means I can't do that brown cubicle box. I'm not saying if that's y'all's style, but like I just know that it was stifling, and and just like you, I also agree with the satin. That's why I also was like quit my job in the springtime because I was like, oh, what we not gonna do is spend this whole summer up in this brown box, and I can just see the birds fly and all that freedom just passing me by. So I love that. I love that you shared that. I think that that's the cool thing is that if there's one, there's many, right? Of women that, kind of have that internal, like, feeling like it could be more and it could be different. And what a time to be alive, and the fact that we get to be able to do that. So that's awesome. Tanya, do you want to take off the next question and ask her? She kind of told us a little bit. She started to dive into it, but I'll let you take,
Yeah, sure. So one of the things that, we're really proud of is that we're able to, get women into this program and, streamline your way to results. So if you can share with us, like, some of the things that have worked for you, especially to get this, this new client. So what are some of the things that you're like, yes, this is the exact thing that I needed to get these results?
So I had a "it's not you, it's me" moment. Because I had all of the tools. Being a part of our SOBC community, I had all the tools. I had you guys going live. I had the ability to DM you guys. I had the other ladies that I could talk to. I had all of the materials and resources that you guys had put together for us, plus the very, very informative training. So it was me. I could feel myself backing away, and I wasn't being as active, like every week we have our meeting, and I could feel myself backing away. And I knew then, like, Jessica, you have everything that you need. It's you. You're not plugging in. You're not staying connected. You're not taking advantage of the things that you have. And I really, really just had to change my mind, because our group has so much information. I mean, y'all are consistently putting out handouts, putting out new trainings, making yourselves available to ask questions. So it's almost kind of like y'all have made it to where there are no excuses really, other than just not being, buckling down and being plugged in. So that's what changed for me.
Well, that's great. So Jessica, let's take a moment and tell them, like, okay, you said before you joined Set Up for Success Online Business Consultants, you were blogging. So tell me a little bit about, like, what you were doing, like, before, you joined SOBC, and then what made you want to become, a Set Up for Success Online Business Consultant?
So I was like a lot of ladies. I was YouTubing it. I was Googling. I was, if I could get it for free, I was doing that. But I was setting up stuff where it was very similar to what other people were doing. But the difference was those people invested in someone to help them, and I hadn't. And I was like spinning my wheels and like trying all of these things that I saw on Google and all these things I saw on YouTube and Pinterest. And I remember, coming across a live with Danielle, and I remember her saying something about, cutting time in half for women. And it spoke to me immediately, because I was like, how much longer am I going to do this, not get any income, putting out more work? And I feel like I'm just talking to no one. And that's when I knew it came time. It was time for me to put up or shut up. I mean, I was in a very, very good position. I was a single woman making really good corporate money. There was no excuse to not invest in someone to take me from point A to point B. So once I met Danielle on that live, I think I remember DMing her, like, as soon as we got off, and we started talking. And I think that very next day, I was like, I'm going to do this. And so I hadn't gotten paid yet, but I knew I was about to get paid. So I asked my mom, I was like, can I borrow some money from you real quick? And
oh my God, I don't think I knew that.
She was like, sure, because she knew I was good for it. I've been borrowing money from her for forever. But I mean, she knew I was good for it.
Right.
So Danielle had already.
But that is how it starts. A lot of people, hey, this called resourcefulness, and most women that I have found that got some type of success or movement, or they found a way. Like a no was like, and a lot of times it comes from more times from family. So hey. Yeah. And you're able to look at a position to pay it right back. Yeah. So that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah,
You
because
got
I
the
knew
money.
I was either going to borrow it from her, or I was like, okay, I think it was like a Monday or Tuesday, and I was like, Friday is on the way. If mom says no, I know I'm doing this Friday. I didn't care. At that point, it was like, I wasn't being crazy, but I knew, I was like, come Friday, this is the priority.
Right,
Everything
right.
else will have to wait until the next one, because I had to, if I was going to invest in something, I was going to invest in something that was going to be long term. And everything else
Right.
up until then was like short term investments, and I was done with that.
So what exactly you were doing? Blogging? Like, how are you trying to monetize? So I was asking this because I would love for the people to understand, like, what type of skill sets you were trying to build or what you were learning. And I think you said blogging. And then, it sounds like when you took our program, yeah, tell me a little bit, like, that plugged in a lot of things about how to make that money. But
Yeah.
we even gave you the Ben for You business, so you didn't even have to guess, right? So is that what you were doing prior? What were you trying to figure out to leave your highly paid HR job? I know you had a great job, but you wanted freedom, and money wasn't enough. It sounds like it was like you freedom and the lifestyle for your family that you knew you wanted to have was.
Yeah, absolutely. I went from corporate HR, and I was climbing this ladder in HR that I didn't really want. I kind of fell into HR, and I was good at it because I like people. So I saw myself going up this ladder, and then I was like, oh, management, or I can go here. And I was like, I don't want either one of those. So I would do the blogging on the side, and blogging, the heart was still there. The heart for women was still there. But I was attempting to monetize it by, Amazon, their affiliate services. And it was like pennies. And I was like, this is not life. I'm not going to do this for 50 bucks here and there. Like, I'm never going to leave this place if I continue. But I tried all the things that a lot of bloggers try. But it wasn't until I think I told you, Danielle, about my website, and I think you checked it out, and you were like, look, there's a better way. And it ain't this. And so I did not get rid of my blog, but I do share on my blog how to be set up for success. And so I use the service. The blog is still there, but the service is what drives it, and is what is going to pull people in. But if I had have stayed on that track of trying to monetize that blog the traditional way that people on YouTube or Google or Pinterest tell you to do, I'd still be somewhere like pulling these braids out.
Yeah, I mean, that's truly one of the reasons why we created this program, is to teach women like how to monetize what your passion or what your expertise is, that you're becoming an expert as you develop more in it. How to monetize that and where a high ticket manner. So you have a signature offers that are of high value, of high investment. So you don't need so many. And a traditional way of blogging, right, is one that takes quantity of traffic and eyeballs, because you need traffic, to be able to sell that many things on referral just through that. And a lot of, which now, right, you would say the way that you're learning the business now, you can still blog, but you don't need nearly a fraction of the traffic, right, that you would say. Right, because you have an offer that, is of high value. So you only need, a handful of people every month to replace your income. Absolutely. Right? So that's awesome. Tanya, did you have anything your questions you wanted to have asked after that?
I just feel like just based on your experience, and I feel like there's a lot of women who are watching this who have similar experience, right? Who have great jobs or who have a great career, but are still trying to figure out, like, how do I position myself as an expert? And so, like, you just proved that, like, you already are an expert, right? It's just taking the right information and packaging it in a way that's client attractive. So, like, you're like proof that you don't have to have, all the certifications and all the things and, 20 million fans on Facebook or Instagram to be worthy of, this kind of offer. So that's one thing I just want to share for women who are watching this. Like, if this is a sign, like, if you need it, like, this is it. Take this as your sign.
And one thing I want to say, I know you have another point, Tanya, but just to even kind of even take that a step further, Jessica is going to share with you that the client that she just recently signed up is a woman who's been in business a very much longer time than Jessica. So we're going to talk a little bit about this wonderful client and nothing but love, and we'll keep it, just on the, the transformation that was able to happen for Jessica. But even in this scenario, Jessica is able to serve and support a woman that has been in business who does have the huge audience, who has been in business or maybe not really in business because she hasn't been monetizing her gifts. And so Jessica now, through what we've been able to train her, and it's been quick, fast, still, even though, and this is a certified program, but it's not like, this is a one-stop shop, baby, truly, honestly. But, once, she got that, she's able to serve and support women who've been in business. So that just goes to show that you know what I mean? Like, there are women who've been doing this longer who still don't know what you know. You know what I mean? So it's not about how long per se you've known it. It's about, do you know it, and now does it work for you? And the whole thing is to live with other women from the struggle of not knowing. So it's literally knowing, when you know better, you do better. And so many women truly, Jessica, we're going to get into this, but let me get back to Tanya, but you were probably like, wow, there are a lot of, if there's one, I'm sure there's many who need me like immediately to stand up. But tying that back to Tanya. So that was a good point too, just to kind of reiterate what you just said, Tanya. Her lady here had been doing this way longer than Jessica, but it didn't matter. Jessica knew what she
exactly.
What this lady
I love it. Yeah. So Danielle, you ready to dive into her sale? Do you want to talk about that? Are we ready?
And let's check the time real quick. I want to, let's go ahead and do that, because I feel like when you talk about that, you'll also be able to share what do you feel like has been the most valuable about being in the, SOBC program. But let's dive into, this new, this transformation that happened for you recently with the mindset shift and how easy it was, and then walk us through what happened.
Mm-hmm. So on our call last week on Thursday, and we talked about mindset, all this stuff was in alignment anyway, because I had decided, I think 2 weeks ago, that I was just going to go all in, and I didn't care. I didn't care what happened. I didn't care who laughed. I just did not care. And I just got to the point of no return. I've invested in this. I'm going to take advantage. And that was when I saw you guys had posted what the topic was. And I was like, this is it. And I just got my mind right. I went back, I reviewed all of the modules that we had. I printed out the brainstorming workbook and just writing out my goals. Tanya had posted the earlier that week about the Make It Happen Monday. And I was super intentional when I responded to her post, because I had already meant it in my heart. And I was like, y'all need to connect. Head and heart, you need to connect. We're about to go out here. And by then, the client and we had already been DMing each other, and we had actually already had a phone call because of something that, she was just trying to see if I was interested in. And I heard her say, oh, I've been a life coach, a business coach, a career coach for years. And so she was telling me about her testimonials. And I was like, girl, like, you and I need to talk. I was like, why aren't you pushing your thing? And the one thing that I noticed when I was talking to her, I told her, I said, hold on 1 second. I said, I hear you talking about all of this for everybody else, and you are way back here. And I literally did that on the call. I was like, you're way back here and everybody's right here. And I think it was when I asked her, how does that make you feel to know that every year you've built up this following, people like you, they love you, and you're helping them, but you're not prioritizing yourself and your business? I said, you should have been making 10K months a long time ago. I mean, she had 2 years of consistent Facebook lives where people, like, she was getting a lot of people on her lives. And then when she stopped, people were looking for her. And I said, because they started to love you and trust you, and they were looking for you, and you just kind of left them hanging. And so I just told her, I was like, are you ready to put yourself first? Are you ready to put your business first? And then all of these things can trickle off of that. And she was like, yeah. you know, and I'm like, okay, well, let's do this because, you know, you're helping all these people. And I mean, her testimonials are amazing. I'm like, why aren't you showcasing that? Why aren't you putting yourself out there, you know? And she just reminded me of something that I posted about women playing small. And we have this, it's almost like we have this preset thing in us to put everybody first, but forget about us. And I was like, stop forgetting about you. She's telling me all these goals that she has. She wants her daughter to eventually come work for her. And I was like, well, this is how you do this. So, you know, I think I put something on her mind because I'm like, you're not going to sit up here and tell me you've met all these people and you're still dead last, you know?
Right. And that's just I mean, that's why we wanted you to be on it, because that's just a beautiful story, just to realize how many women really need us to stand in our personal power. And, you know, how many women really need to be liberated through, again, our personal power and knowing what we know, and being of service to share that, you know, for women who are serious to receive it. Because, you know, I mean, Tanya, don't we see that all the time? I mean, that's why we created this program. There's an epidemic of women who are undercharging, not charging for their gifts, or pouring into people, but are not being financially compensated. It's like, it's very hard to show up at your best when you're not being able to be financially supported. So you can take off all the burdens and worries off of your mind, so you can be your best, right?
So good.
Yeah.
I love it.
I will have like one last thing, and then we can, you know, kind of wrap up here. So I definitely feel like, and you can tell, it's like, you know, having this group and having these ongoing chats was probably one of the things that really kept you in the game and kept your mind in it, sounds like, because you've been in the program for a while, but like you said, it took a while for you to kind of buckle down and trust yourself, right? A lot of people take program stuff and they still don't trust themselves, and they just, you know, it's just like, hey, I do know what I know, and you know, whether it took me 2 years or 2 weeks to learn it, I do know that I have something now that I've invested in that's able to support people. So it sounds like, you know, being in our community. So that's one thing we want to share to the women who are watching this. You know, Ty and I are very passionate about, you know, seeing you to success. It's in our best interest for our SOBCs to, you know what they know with confidence, to see success in their business. But, you know, this is a whole goal to liberate other women, because it's like, wow, I mean, you know, if you hadn't reached out to her, who knows how many years it would have been by. I don't even want to think about, you know, and it's costly. Every month you don't figure this up, she's already lost 6 figures. Yeah. But the good news is she's right where she needs to be, and time can be collapsed. So that sounds really good. What would you say to, you know, a woman, you know, who's considering the Set Up for Success online business consultant program? What would be your final, like, what would you say to say of her? Thinking about it, or what is it? You know, how would you describe it?
I would tell her to do it, because you're not going to find anything as comprehensive and consistent and ongoing as you will in this space. Do not play small. Take the risk and take up space. You are going to be 100% supported. The leaders in the group are super consistent. The other ladies in the group are super consistent, and they are friendly, and everyone is there to support the other woman. So if you want a community that's not like ridiculously big, but it's tribal enough to get your answers, you know, your questions answered and get supported, then you've got to join. Like, there's nothing other than this. There's nothing after this. There's nothing better than this. I mean,
we have such good plans for you ladies, between, you know, this is a program that grows with you, because, you know, there is a next and a next level. So because we are trying to create 6-figure ladies, multiple, we're trying to kick 7-figure women, because we're trying to create a new women's economy that honors and celebrates the modern woman in all of her areas. We're looking to teach women how to have bandwidth and bank, peace and profit, sanity and success, so she can show up in all areas of her life in her best. We're both wives and mothers here, and even if you're not, we know that family we know that finances and freedom and fun and being fabulous are all the things that we honor in this tribe. Okay, we're gonna be pretty doing it. Okay, and we get the nails done. Hello. It's with that being said, we're looking for more women who, again, want to be on the leading edge of strategies, solutions, skill sets that not only empower you to have a profitable business with all of the things and have it all right now, but to empower and liberate other women so that they can have it the same. We're trying to increase the women's economy and do it in a way for women, by women. And so, Jessica, to have you committed, to have you seeing success, for you to be representing the standard of what we're trying to create here, and you to be doing it in a spirit of excellence, is we're looking for more women like you. You are the woman that is the gold standard of this business. Why? Because you're resourceful. First and foremost, we want women. If you can't find a way, a little way, Jessica found a way. She called her mom, said, "Mom, I'm doing this. What do you got for me?" Okay. Everybody in this circle didn't always have it right now. Some of us did. Whatever the story is, we made it work with what we had, and we found a way. And that's the first thing. We sold ourselves. Like I said, we need women who can at least sell yourself. It's going to be hard to sell the world out there on any of your talents if you can't sell yourself and that you're good enough and you're worthy enough. And we're trying to, again, model a new way so that women can, again, have it all. So I'm so glad that you're in the program. I'm glad you're committed. I'm glad you are this example and the model of the type of, resilience too. This entrepreneurship isn't a straight line. It is a personal journey for each and every one of them. But to honor that is what's most important. So yes, we do one-on-one consultations. If you're interested in learning more about this program, you can message the group. You can go to the interest group, which we have the link above. You've come join there. Just make sure you fill out the questions. There's 3 entry questions that come into the free interest group. So that's the place you want to go first. Find the link above. You got to fill out the 3 questions. I'm going to say that again because we're not letting you in if you can't do that. You know what I mean? So do that. And then from that place, if it looks like, based on what you shared with us when you came into the group through those questions, if it looks like something, you want to reach out to it, we'll reach out to you and we'll take it a step further. If you need we do have some arrangements if you need to talk to us before making a decision, but the website is pretty thorough on what it is. And so reach out to us. We'd love to know if you're serious because, again, we're looking for the best and the brightest to be, on the leading edge with us. So anything you want to add? And Tanya?
No, you nailed it. I just want to, this is an opportunity for women to shine. I mean, Jess, you're here again as proof that it is possible. And I just love how you talked about, the accountability and the support. And I find that a lot of women, sometimes we try to go it alone. We do sometimes operate from ego and I got this, especially when we've been successful in business. And then we realize, or in our career, when we realize, oh, wait a minute, it would be nice to have someone to talk to. It would be nice to have someone to push me. It would be nice to have, an army around me, a sisterhood of women who are all, doing the thing, like all having similar goals, right? And so I think that is one of the things on top of the content and all of the, checklists and the toolkits and all of that, but being able to be in good company. Like, how good is that, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to just highlight that again, because I think that is going to allow for all of us in this program to continue to see success because we have each other, and it's just a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to harp on that again.
Thank you to y'all's SOBCs. For the ones that are on here, Anita, I know we have ones that show up every week, so Anita's in the comments cheering you on, Jessica. And we thank all the SOBCs that are already in the group for being this was so sweet and so nice and encouraging. Y'all are like the best cheerleaders. Once somebody has one win, every single girl in that group, and without fail, every single time is going to say, congratulations, way to go, you did it. And that is what we're building here. Like, y'all going to blink now, and some of y'all going to be mad y'all weren't a founding member. I'm not trying to repeat them, but and it's small and intimate now, but we plan on a world domination with this because we want to lift those women who need another way, that need a career that was built or a job they can do forever that gives them time and money. So we welcome you. We're building something beautiful. The girls here now are absolutely the best. And We will be here next Tuesday at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So set your notifications. Come join us in the group. And until next time, much love, peace, and prosperity.
Yes. Bye, ladies.